Okay, so the title of this video is a question, and I want to answer it honestly from the very first minute rather than keeping you in suspense until the end. No, Unreal Engine 5 is not the only software you need for a 3D career in 2026. Now, before you click away thinking you already know everything this video has to offer, let me tell you why I asked the question in the first place. Because the answer is more complicated and more interesting than a simple no. And the way I'm going to explain why it's not the only software you need is going to tell you something very specific and very useful about how to actually think about software in the context of building a 3D career. Because here's what I keep seeing. Artists at all levels making software decisions in one of two problematic ways. The first way, the I need to learn everything way. Blender and Unreal and Maya and Houdini and Cinema 4D and Substance and ZBrush and Nuke, all simultaneously, in a state of perpetual overwhelm, never getting deep enough in any of them to be genuinely useful professionally in any single one. The second way, though, I need to pick the tool way. The belief that there's one software that unlocks everything. That if they can just identify and commit to the right one, the one that the market wants most, the one that pays best, the one that's most future-proof, they can stop worrying about the rest. Both of these are wrong, and both of them lead to the same place. A lot of time spent, unclear results, and a nagging feeling that you're either doing too much or not doing the right thing. The truth, which is genuinely more useful than either of those approaches, is somewhere else. And Unreal Engine 5 is the perfect lens to explain it through. Because it's the software that's generating the most, is this the one? Energy right now. And the honest answer to that question tells you something important about how software decisions should actually be made. Here's what we're doing today. I'm going to give you an honest, complete picture of what Unreal Engine 5 actually is in the context of a professional 3D career in 2026. Not the hype version, not the dismissal version, the accurate version. What does exceptionally well, what doesn't do at all, where it genuinely opens career doors that other software doesn't, and where other software is still the better or the only choice. And then I'm going to give you a framework, a simple, practical framework for thinking about software decisions in general. Because the question, should I learn Unreal Engine 5, is really a proxy for the deeper question, how do I decide which software to invest in? And that deeper question deserves a direct answer. By the end of this video, you'll know whether Unreal Engine 5 belongs in your career strategy, specifically at what point and for what purpose. And you'll have a way of thinking about software decisions that serves you well beyond this particular conversation. No hype, no tribalism, just the useful truth. Before we get into the Unreal Engine 5 picture, I want to share something that I think explains why the one software to rule them all fantasy is so persistent, and why it's so consistently disappointing when artists pursue it. I was talking to a studio head recently, someone who hires 3D artists regularly across several different production contexts. And I asked them something directly. I said, when you look at a candidate and think this person is exactly what we need, what is it that makes you think that? And they didn't say anything about software. I mean, software came up. Of course it did. Specific tools are relevant in specific contexts, and they were clear about what their pipeline required. But the thing that made them say, this is exactly what we need, was something different, something that preceded the software conversation entirely. They said, it's when I can tell that they understand the problem before they understand the tool. When they've clearly thought about what needs to happen visually and technically, and they've chosen the right tools for that specific need, rather than starting from the tool and working backward to the problem. Problem first, tool second. That's the framework. And it completely changes how you should think about whether Unreal Engine 5 or any software belongs in your career strategy. Because the question isn't, is Unreal Engine 5 the best software? The question is, what problems am I trying to solve for what clients? And is Unreal Engine 5 the right tool for those problems? Once you understand that framing, the Unreal Engine 5 picture becomes very clear. Let me show you what it looks like. Let me give you the most accurate one-sentence description of what Unreal Engine 5 is in a professional context. Unreal Engine 5 is the world's most capable real-time 3D environment platform, and it has crossed the quality threshold where real-time output is production viable for a growing range of high-value commercial applications. Real-time, meaning it renders instantly rather than over hours. Environment platform, meaning it specializes in the creation and presentation of 3D spaces, worlds, and environments. Production viable, meaning the output quality meets professional standards for actual commercial use, not just experimentation. Those three things together, real-time, environment specialized, production quality, define what UE5 is and, crucially, what it isn't. It is not primarily a modeling tool. You don't build your primary geometry in Unreal. You build it in Blender, Maya, ZBrush, or another modeling-focused application and bring it in. It is not primarily a character animation tool. Complex character rigs and animation workflows live in other software. It is not primarily an effects tool. Fluid, destruction, and complex particle simulations are handled better in Houdini. It is not a compositing tool. Post-production, compositing happens in Nuke or After Effects. What it is, and what it's genuinely extraordinary at, is taking the assets created in all of those other tools and assembling them into real-time environments that can be rendered, presented, interacted with, and delivered at a speed and quality level that no offline rendering pipeline can match. Understanding this precisely, what UE5 is and isn't, immediately clarifies which career paths it's essential for and which ones it's irrelevant to. Let me be specific. These are the career applications where Unreal Engine 5 is not just useful, where it is the primary tool, and where not knowing it puts you at a genuine disadvantage. Virtual production and LED volume work. This is the most visible and fastest growing application. LED volume stages, where actors perform in front of real-time rendered environments on massive curved screens, run on Unreal Engine. Not occasionally, exclusively. The virtual production pipeline is a UE5 pipeline. If you want to work in this space as an environment artist, a technical director, a lighting artist, a real-time pipeline specialist, you need UE5. There is no alternative tool that serves this application at this level. And this market is genuinely growing. The number of LED volume stages globally has grown significantly in the last 3 years. The content being produced on them ranges from major film and TV to commercial advertising to live events. The demand for UE5 fluent artists in this space is real, and the talent pool is still materially below the demand. Architectural visualization at the interactive and immersive end. Traditional archviz, photorealistic still renders of buildings and interiors, doesn't require Unreal. You can produce exceptional traditional archviz in Blender, 3ds Max, or Cinema 4D with an offline renderer. But the high end of the archviz market is moving towards something that traditional pipelines cannot deliver. Real-time walkthroughs, interactive design, exploration, VR experiences that let clients inhabit a space before it's built, configurators that let developers change finishes and layouts in real-time presentations. All of this is UE5, and the clients willing to pay for this level of presentation are at the premium end of the market, the development budgets where the visualization investment is a small percentage of a very large project, which means the rates for this work are strong. Automotive visualization and real-time configurators. Major automotive manufacturers use real-time visualization for both internal design review and consumer-facing configurators. The ability to see a vehicle in photorealistic quality, change the color and trim in real time, explore different lighting environments. This is a UE5 application, and it's been a significant production context for several years. The agencies and studios serving automotive clients in this space actively need UE5 artists. Broadcast and live events. Real-time graphics and live broadcasts, virtual studio environments for news and sports productions, real-time concert visuals, and stage environments. These are growing applications of UE5 that most artists outside of broadcast don't think about. The quality requirements for broadcast are specific and demanding, and the UE5 artists who understand those requirements are genuinely sought after. Enterprise training and simulation. Defense, aerospace, medical, industrial, sectors that require high-fidelity simulation environments for training purposes. This is a large, stable, government, and enterprise-funded market that has been building on real-time platforms for years. UE5 is increasingly the standard for new development in this space. Equally important, let me be honest about where UE5 doesn't matter. Character art and animation. If you want to be a character artist or a character animator, UE5 is not your primary tool. You'll spend your working life in ZBrush, Maya, and Substance. UE5 is where your characters eventually live in a game or a film context, but building them, rigging them, and animating them happens elsewhere. Strong character artists who don't know UE5 are hired every day. VFX and film effects. The simulation and effects pipeline in film is Houdini territory. Water, fire, destruction, large-scale particle effects. These are built in Houdini and rendered through production render farms. UE5 is increasingly used in the in-camera shooting stage of virtual production. But the effects pipeline itself is not a UE5 conversation. Commercial product visualization for print and static digital. The hero product render for a cosmetics brand's campaign. The static still imagery for a product launch. The pack shots for e-commerce at any level of quality. These are offline rendering applications. Blender, Cinema 4D, Keyshot, 3ds Max with V-Ray. These are the tools. UE5 doesn't enter this workflow in any meaningful way for most static commercial product visualization. Motion graphics. The After Effects, Cinema 4D, motion design pipeline for title sequences, brand animations, and social content. This is not a UE5 space. Motion graphics artists work in a completely different tool set and client context. Okay, the framework I promised. The one that answers should I learn UE5 and every other software decision you'll face. 3 questions, in order, every time. Question 1. What is the specific commercial application I'm building toward? Not, I want to be a 3D artist. The specific application. Virtual production. Premium archviz. Product visualization for premium brands. Character art for games. Environmental storytelling for narrative games. Medical visualization. This question forces the answer to question 2. Question 2. What does the pipeline for that specific application actually use? Not what you've heard is popular. Not what has the best YouTube tutorials. What do the studios, agencies, and clients working at a professional level in that specific application actually use? The answer to this question is usually findable in 30 minutes of research. Job listings for roles in that application will list the software. The portfolios of working artists in that space will reference the tools. Industry-specific communities and forums will make the pipeline clear. This question gives you the actual list, not the theoretical list. Question 3. Where are you in your development, and what's the right tool to add next? Because the right tool depends not just on where you want to go, but on where you currently are. An artist with no foundational 3D skills adding UE5 is putting a specialized tool on top of a missing foundation. An artist with strong foundational skills in modeling, texturing, and lighting adding UE5 as a specialization is building correctly. The sequence matters as much as the destination. So, is Unreal Engine 5 the only software you need for a 3D career in 2026? No, and it's not close to that. But is it a software that a significant and growing portion of the highest value, highest paying work in the 3D industry is being built on? Absolutely yes. Is the talent gap between demand for UE5 skilled artists and supply of production-ready UE5 artists one of the most favorable conditions for artists choosing a specialization right now? Yes. Is the specific combination of foundational 3D skills, strong modeling, strong lighting, strong material knowledge, plus production-level UE5 capability one of the most commercially powerful skill stacks available to a 3D artist in 2026? Yes. Without question. The answer to is it the only software you need is no. The answer to is it one of the most strategically intelligent software investments a 3D artist can make right now is yes. If, and only if the career path you're building toward includes the applications where UE5 is the standard. Problem first. Tools second. Always. Now, something that comes up every time I talk about UE5 with artists who are considering learning it. A very practical question that the strategic conversation often doesn't answer. How long does it actually take to get from zero experience with Unreal Engine 5 to a level of proficiency that's genuinely useful in a production context? Not how long to follow a basic tutorial. Not how long to make something that looks impressive. How long to be actually useful to a studio, to a client, in a real pipeline, at a level where you can be trusted with production work. This is the question that determines whether the investment makes sense for your specific timeline and your specific situation. And the answer is more nuanced than either the enthusiastic, you can learn it in a weekend camp, or the intimidating, it takes years camp suggests. There's a specific sequence, a specific progression of capability levels that maps to the kinds of work you can credibly pursue at each stage. And knowing that sequence changes how you approach the learning entirely. Because you stop trying to know everything before you start using it professionally and start understanding which specific capabilities open which specific doors. That breakdown, the realistic UE5 learning timeline mapped to commercial viability at each stage, is what I want to go through in the next video. Because if you're going to make the investment, you deserve to know exactly what you're investing in and what returns to expect at what points. So, is Unreal Engine 5 the only software you need for a 3D career in 2026? No, it doesn't model your hero assets. It doesn't rig or animate your characters. It doesn't build your VFX. It doesn't composite your final output. Other software does all of those things better. What it does in virtual production, in interactive archviz, in automotive visualization, in broadcast and live events, in enterprise simulation, it does at a level that no other tool currently matches. And the market for artists who can do those things at a production level is real, growing, and short of people. The software framework, problem first, pipeline second, development stage third, applies to UE5 and to every other software decision you'll make. Use it every time. And the honest verdict: if your target career path includes any of the applications where UE5 is the standard, it's one of the most strategically intelligent skill investments available to you right now. If your target path doesn't include those applications, it's genuinely irrelevant to your immediate priorities. Problem first. Tool second. Career first. Software second. Subscribe if this kind of clear, honest, practical career thinking is what you come here for. Hit the bell for the next video because the realistic UE5 learning timeline mapped to commercial viability is the piece that makes this decision actionable rather than just directional. And drop a comment. Is UE5 in your career strategy already? Are you considering it, or is it genuinely not relevant to where you're going? Tell me specifically. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.